All right, so we're getting started with our first podcast here. Now, do you think we need theme music?
Batman music.
Batman theme music?
Yeah.
Just sort of no. Spencer and Kory.
That's exactly.
I don't even know why I put your name first, but I guess it's Spencer and Kory now.
Forever.
That's like the official.
Oh, you just shot yourself in the foot.
Oh. No, that's okay.
This was really Kory's idea, I swear.
Anyway, really about theme music though. Like, do shows need it? Is that a thing they do?
I don't know. I mean, like, for my personal future channel, on YouTube anyway, I want it to be a bunch of reporters, kind of overlapping each other, speaking about really positive things. Like, I bet you've never turned on the news and heard, this just in, today in Southern California, we got some rain and it's really helping the plants grow. And Miss Betty White from down the street helped John Doe up the street do X, Y, and Z. Like, we never hear the positive things people are doing for each other or the positive things that people are doing for the planet. So I thought it'd be really cool to have, like, some ominous music, like the news gives you that feeling, but then really have some positive feedback from reporters. And that would be kind of like the intro to my own channel.
Right, like you get all this bad news about car crash just happened, but what if they stopped and interviewed every single person that made it to work safely? Like, this just in, and we interrupt your whatever you're watching, and you get, now tell us, Mary Lou, was there traffic on your way to work? Isn't it a beautiful day we're having?
I guess I see why they make it so interesting, huh? Oh no, the world we live in.
Well, anyway, my name's Kory Getman.
Spencer White.
And we're here doing this show for you because we started talking about just different things that we had been going through, and, well, just talking, we're like, this is fascinating. People should hear this. And myself, I had just gone through this stage where I had come to realize that there was nothing more that I needed to get out of life. And I told you about this already. My whole mindset just shifted to, okay, if there's nothing to get, then I need to start giving. So Spencer and I had this conversation about, okay, what do we have to give? What do we have to offer? And here we are. So this whole thing is just going to be topics we know about and things that we're passionate about and want to give back. And should you absorb anything from that message, that's great. Should you not, then that's great too. We're going to keep going.
And I think the most exciting part about this whole project for me is really just taking, like Kory said, taking the things we're passionate about and trying to, get it to just one more person. That's really our goal, is just have a conversation with you. And so thank you for tuning in and listening to our first podcast. This is really cool. We're really excited. If you really probably are picturing our quote-unquote office, it's not what you would imagine. We are in a downstairs basement room right now. I would love to paint a photo for you, but I'm not going to. My room is not the cleanest at the moment. But we just want to be transparent, We want to have fun, and we want to show people that we're real. This is not the media where you're going to turn on and not really know what you're expecting to get. This is more, hey, this is from me to you. You can take it or leave it. Personally, I wouldn't listen to me. Like, who am I? But the point is we do have some cool subjects. We will be bringing in people later on, too, that are top people in their category. And we just want to help. We want to lend a helping hand and just build a community of people that really care about each other.
Right. And the things that we'll be sharing with you, personally, I know a lot about and have researched and have all kinds of stories relating to spirituality, including Zen, Buddhism, Taoism. It's things that I believe in strongly that have really helped shape my life so far. And I'm an actor myself, so I'll be talking about acting. I'm into fitness, so I'll be talking about bodybuilding and nutrition. Same with Spencer. And music, that's another big one. What else do we got?
We got a lot. I mean, my personal background isn't quite as robust as Kory's over here. But, I'm just a humble guy who wants to, learn about the world we live in. So my background is in fitness, nutrition. I went through a couple certification programs. I went through EMT program, firefighter program. Some of your normal blue-collar type of employee stuff. And I learned a lot through that. But really, I think in the last 2 years, my life completely changed. I started a couple businesses, and some of them went total bust. Some of them really worked out. And that allowed me and my girlfriend to go travel for a year. And so we went to Sri Lanka, Thailand, China, and we got to really see other ways people are living. And really, firsthand, when you can see a different culture and the way they interact together and how they live life, it makes it kind of a joke here in America about the materialism and all the things that we kind of know are going on, but we're just so used to it that we slip back in.
And if I may interrupt you here for a second.
Of course.
That living in America and seeing it's all materialism really gets to the heart of what we live for here. And other countries don't have that, where it's all about survival and profit. Like, that's at the core of our thinking here. You know, what can I do to make money and then live to go on living? And that's why I really want to take those trips that you have, that I can see in Thailand and Sri Lanka. These people absolutely loving life and slowing down and enjoying it. I remember you telling me about how people would actually slow down and enjoy their meals, and they didn't care about what time it was. Like, you had a guy say, meet you in the morning, and you're like, wait, what? Like, when?
What time?
It's just in the morning for breakfast, and, well, he was there, so he wasn't lying.
That's true. And just so you guys know, I know Kory told you a little bit about himself, but just so you can hear it from me, I'm not biased at all. I'm not his cousin or anything like that. But
this is my cousin Spencer.
Okay, all right, we're cousins. We are related. But no, really, I do want to share, my view on this guy, because I think he's a stand-up guy. He comes from Missouri, humble background, and he's out here in LA. He's faced probably every obstacle from, student loan debt to breaking his back, and he's made it all out alive, healthy, and probably a better person overall for all of his challenges. And he's become a really wise individual, and I look up to him in a lot of ways, and I want to say this to you guys out there listening to us, because you need to know that this person is really valuable, and they really, really want to share valuable information. We are coming on here just for fun and all that, but really soak it up, really just take something home with it, I hope.
And I want to say the same about Spencer. A great guy. He's taught me most of the things that I've come to realize about myself and about life. And every time I experience another breakthrough, he's the person I'm on the phone with, and he really understands everything that I'm talking about, because he had gone through it already himself, through a slower, gradual process.
Definitely.
And I was going to say eventually I'll tell you guys my story, but I may as well give a condensed version of it right now. I've gone through, as he mentioned, I was in a motorcycle accident and I broke my back, and that was a challenge, I guess, but I don't consider it a challenge. Every quote-unquote challenge that you're faced with is just another stepping stone in the path to get wherever you are. But I had gone through that, and I had made a recovery pretty well. Got right back into bodybuilding, actually, which may or may not have been smart, but I feel it helped me recover. And then I had faced another circumstance at the beginning of last year that stretched out a good 6 or 7 months, where I was lured into believing that I was up for a major role on an MTV show. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
That was a big part of my life, and I passed up other jobs that would have taken me out of the state to work with film crews, and it ended up being this guy that was basically just interested in getting in my pants, and he came at it very slyly, and he was clever with his use of what looked like a legitimate Viacom email address. And anyway, I can go deeper into that later if you guys want, but after going through that and realizing that I couldn't just stay hung up on that forever, that it was going to do me no good to stay hung up on any of my problems or situations, it became really easy for me to disidentify with my story and realize that I wasn't any of those problems. And it was getting through those kinds of things and going through a breakup along with that stuff and problems with my family, and really felt like I'd hit rock bottom. Though I know some people may say compared to other people's situations, that's nothing. For me, it felt extreme, and it became really easy to disidentify with myself and my problems, and to realize I'm not those things, and that life itself is not a problem to be solved, but a journey to be enjoyed. As cheesy and, postcardy as that sounds, whatever. That's
true.
something that I very truly believe.
Yeah, I do too, definitely. So,
we kind of hit an awkward pause there.
Yeah.
But I'll pick it up from there.
Okay. I got nothing to say at the moment, so I was induced by his story. Yeah. So what's on your mind, Kory?
On my mind right now, going back into that life is not a problem to be solved. A lot of people live as if there's something else that has to be done, and there's a next step and a next step, and I'll be satisfied when I get there. And I guess that's the entire point of setting goals. But they'll set a goal, and then they'll set an emotional attachment to that goal, instead of realizing that they can be happy right now.
Can you give us an example?
Yes, look at any kind of... okay, let's take a look starting from the beginning with our education system. It's one thing to get to the next thing. It's preschool to get to kindergarten, to get to elementary school, to get to junior high, to get to high school. Then finally I graduated. Now what college am I going to? And then what master's program am I going to go through? Okay, I finished that. Now what job do I get? Okay, I got the job. Now, when's that next promotion going to come and that next pay raise? And with each little step, sure, there comes a little thrill. But that's not your happiness. Once you get that job that you want, say you're 40 now, and maybe you're vice president of the company, if you've actually succeeded in these goals, then your next goal is save up enough money for retirement, and I'll be happy then. And then you're retired, and now you're waiting for death. And you never really stopped to live. You never really took a moment to enjoy what you had.
Never smelled the roses, did you?
Stopped and smelled the flowers. Actually, I was going through Facebook earlier, and I came across a comic that said it was just a take on modern society, and it was a bunch of people standing around complaining about their lives, and one guy said, I never take the time to be happy for the things I've already achieved. And they were saying things like that, or, I have anxiety phobia, where I'm afraid to be afraid.
Oh, no.
Which is another thing that I want to get to at some point, about our resistance to things that we feel, including resistance to resistance to resistance.
Yeah. That never-ending rabbit hole where we've entered Alice in Wonderland, but it's true. I love what you're saying. It's really mind-blowing at where we've come as a society. And there's so many beautiful things out there that are happening. There's so many great people doing organic things, and there's a vegan movement, and whether that is a healthier lifestyle or not, that's up to you for you to determine. I actually am vegan myself, but I do cheat occasionally. I'm not going to lie about that. I do have chocolate and things, which I'm assuming there are milk in, but I will find alternatives, but I just haven't cut out everything yet. But where I'm going with that is we face really interesting times, and I think these are times to be so excited. There's more self-discovery. There's more knowledge about who we really are today than there ever has been in history. You could probably find each and every day more articles, more videos, more podcasts like ours being put out each day. I guarantee it, more than, the last 1,000 years or whatever it has been. I'm sure there's more uploads going on now than ever before. And that's a huge opportunity for people who aren't happy with their situation and they know there's something wrong. That's all it takes, is for you to just have this niche in your armor, and you're doing your normal 9-to-5 job or college, whatever it is, and you just go, there's something not right here. I'm not happy. I'm not enjoying myself. And what is the cause of that, And I think Kory spelt it out there beautifully. And we are really attached to these things, and we're attaching emotions to these processes. And I didn't get the grade I wanted. I didn't get this. And we're defining ourselves that way. And I think that's creating problems that a lot of people are now realizing.
You know, there's a thing that Spencer said that really jumped out at me. And I think it's amazing, the resources that we have to learn literally anything we want. And it's kind of amazing, all the people that are out there and still asleep and have no idea the vast potential just available through the internet. I mean, you can research literally anything. You can get any information for nearly free, for the cost that it takes to connect. Sure, there's a lot more in-depth in books, but there's a lot that you can find completely free online. Actually, if you want to improve your life, if you consider money an improvement, there are like free educational programs to teach you jobs that will get you that money that you desire or whatever it is. But the vast amount of information and the people that are still toiling away with unhappiness is amazing to me.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense. It's almost like we've been living in a system that may or may not have been designed to keep us this way, to keep us asleep. I'm not making...
Now, Spencer says may or may not. I personally believe it completely has.
I do too.
That's entirely what advertising is based around. You couldn't sell us anything if you didn't convince us we're unhappy and if you didn't train us to stay unhappy. Like,
Exactly.
You'd never go out and buy, I don't know, whatever the popular clothing brand of today is.
Right.
Whatever. You'd never buy that if you didn't think, I need this to impress someone else. If you didn't think that you needed other people's approval or that you needed to get something for your happiness. The next iPhone is really what's going to do it for you this time. You know? You're convinced that you need things, so you buy things. And it keeps going.
And I love that idea. That's so great. And to dive into ideas a little more about that marketing, right? When you said that, I thought of a company, very nice brand, according to the marketing anyway. I don't actually know their quality. I've never checked their stitching or anything like that. But I happen to know a lot of high-end people who do wear Louis Vuitton. So if we talk about Louis Vuitton for a second, right? You walk in the store. It's very simplified. It's very nice. In fact, I love being in that store because everything, you feel like it's like the best. Somehow they got like these golden cows that they're making this leather out of. And this leather is like unreal leather that we've never seen before. But really, it's just the marketing, you know, and what I want to say about that is it's an idea. That marketing is not accidental. That marketing is a purposeful, intentional idea being put into the world and being stood by. So they created an opinion about their product and they stood by it no matter what people said. No matter if they checked the stitching and said it's not great, they still said no, it is. It is the best. And you don't see Louis Vuitton marketing on TV. You don't have to. Because you see people wearing it around that have a lot of money. So there's this feel behind it. There's this idea. And here's what I want to go with this. You are constantly, and I am constantly, being sold ideas, right? Somebody else's idea, perception, opinion on a subject. There's a quote I love, and it's, you're either being sold or you're selling. You're doing one of the two all of the time. Every conversation, every connection. There is a neutral ground where if you have a great relationship with someone, you can say, hey, can we just speak and not hold anything against it? But still, there does come an element of selling, because then you'll go, well, Kory, do you think that helped or hurt you in this situation? And you may be trying to steer them subconsciously towards something to help them. You sold them on something. You sold them on feeling better.
And see, I think that that selling sold mindset is just another way of putting you're either giving or you're getting. And if you feel that you have something to get, then you've somehow convinced yourself you're incomplete. Like, you're living in lack of something. Like, even if... Actually, most people live from that mindset of being sold to, of having something to get. So when they go out and they do something, it could even look like they're giving, but what they're trying to get is someone's approval, or their parents' approval.
Yeah.
Or, you know... or a job, or... And where I'm going with this is, did you have anything you wanted to say on that subject? I don't want to completely cut you off here.
No, you're on a roll.
All right, I am on a roll. Let's do it. So, I'm just going to start at the beginning of this story. Before the Christmas break, where we came up with the idea for this, we had a conversation where I had gone through a meditation, and I came out of it with this breakthrough that I had gone through all of my conversations and situations and everything that I was trying to do from a getting mindset, from I have something to get here, whether it was talking to a girl and wanting to get to be her boyfriend, or get in her pants, or going out for an audition and thinking I have a job to get here. You know, I have a role I want to book. When I had turned on my head there, when I made that switch to the give mindset, it was all in realization that I have something to offer. And that sounds so obvious, but you always have something to offer. And that goes with the sell thing. I have something that I could be selling you. But that almost sounds like a transaction. Like if I'm selling you something, then I'm getting something in return. But I'd come to this giving mindset, and when I go into an audition now, I think I'm going to give my absolute best, and we're going to create something great. And if I give my absolute best, even if I don't get the part, I haven't failed. And if I go, say I'm talking to a girl, whatever the thing may be for you, and you just give your absolute best and realize you have something to offer, you're not going to be nervous. You're not going to be afraid of losing. You're just going to put out whatever you have, and if they take it, that's great. If not, that's fine too. You gave all that you could, and you weren't trying to get anything. You get what I'm saying?
That's awesome. I love it.
Can you expand on that at all? I don't know if you have any examples there.
Definitely.
I know you've lived from that mindset for a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, I've, oh man, yeah, it's been probably about, I'm 24. I'm only 24 years old. And Kory, how old are you?
I'm 22.
22, okay. So I'm 24, and I started living this way at about just before 22. So it's been a little over 2 years. And wow, I can't even tell you I've had the most amazing experiences in the last 2 years of my life. More wisdom, more knowledge, more true life experience. Not something I learned out of a book in the last 2 years of my life than ever before. And it really did come from this mindset. There are other things that drive it. You have to be a little motivated. Me personally, I'm not the most motivated person in the world. What I've done to keep myself on track, this is a little tangent, but I just want to add this while we're here.
Tangent away.
To keep myself on track, what I do is I build a system that will keep me on track. Because I know I will not wake up at 6 a.m. if I don't have the alarm. I know I will not floss. That's a new word.
All right, floss it out, brother.
I will not brush or floss my teeth at night unless I have a little checklist there that says, did I or did I not do it? So I have that on the back of my door. So I've programmed little things like this for myself to get things done. Most people have a to-do list. I have a priority list, because if I have a to-do list, I will not stop doing. I will always have this endless to-do list, like I think a lot of Americans have, where we wake up at 3 a.m. and you feel like you can't go to sleep, so you start on this random to-do list. Whether or not it has anything to do with your current situation, you feel like you have to run on this hamster wheel of a to-do list. So I have a priority list, and this is where I go, okay, what are my main goals? I don't want to get too deep into this right now because we'll go over it at a later time, but what are my main goals? What is more time sensitive? For instance, right now, I have to deal with some legal stuff in the next couple weeks. So the time sensitive thing is, well, I got to get a lawyer on board, right? So I don't need to go clean my room right now. I need to go get a lawyer right now. That is what I need to do. That is what is time sensitive. My room and dirty clothes, which by the way, my room is pretty spotless. My girlfriend is amazing, but
it actually looks really good.
It's pretty good. We didn't make the bed today, but that's all right.
Forgiven. I'll forgive you.
Okay, thank you. But my whole point behind this is, I've got to do that to keep myself on track. And where our conversation was going before that, Kory, can you remind me really quickly? Do you know?
No, I have no idea.
Okay,
let's just keep going with this.
It doesn't really matter. Yeah. I guess my whole thing is I want to reiterate to you guys that I'm having a blank moment right now, and I actually can't remember where I was going.
All right, let's keep going with that blank moment. What he's talking about having a list of priorities rather than a checklist of things you have to do, is something that strikes me as interesting, because you'll find that in most people. they don't feel comfortable if they're not doing something or getting something done. And if they don't have anything to do, they have no problems, they'll create one. Like, I don't currently have any problems. What can I make my problem? What can I, nobody wants to be alone with themselves. Nobody wants to slow down to take in what they have around them or enjoy themselves. So if they don't have anything to do and they can't come up with something they need to do, then they'll drown themselves out with television or video games. And there's so much value in sitting and being alone with yourself. And I'll get deeper into meditation subjects later, and gosh, there's so many topics that I do want to talk about at some point.
Isn't your brain just firing on all cylinders right now? It's amazing.
Right, but we're already up to 26 minutes.
Wow.
I can't believe it's been this long.
I love this.
It's amazing. It's incredible.
Me? Wow. I just want to add something really quickly to what Kory was just saying, too. When I'm talking about that priority list, what I'm saying is not that I need to clean the car and clean the room and do this and go here and go to work, and those are what I'm prioritizing. I'm also prioritizing things like what Kory's talking about, meditation, time to myself, time for nothing, where nothing is planned, and just pure inspiration can lead my life.
I want to throw this in there. Spencer spends a lot of time reading, and that's probably on your priority list.
It's very high on my priority list now. It used to be on the back burner because I used to think I was wasting time. I thought if I was not doing my to-do list, like the average American, that I was really wasting my time. I'm not getting things done. Kory, what are we supposed to do?
There's another thing I'll get into later. There's no such thing as wasting time.
Exactly.
There's no ultimate purpose. There's nothing that you actually have to do. For anything that you say you have to do, you could follow it up with, if I want. Like, I have to do this if I want. Mm-hmm. Even, I have to get a lawyer if I want to not go to jail. Like,
right.
Whatever.
Right. Exactly.
There's literally nothing that has to be done, and anything that you choose to do is a choice you're making. Which is, and I'm sure we'll get into this more later, but you create your own reality with the choices that you make. Help me out here.
Oh my gosh, there's so many factors that are going off. I'm like visualizing everything, all the streams of information that come off of that. One of my favorite subjects, which we'll talk about later for sure, we'll probably do a whole program on it because it's extremely powerful in shaping your current life, and in the present now, like right now in this moment, right? You have choices. You can either choose to keep on listening to us and be late to work, or you can choose to turn us off, put us on pause, and come back to us later. There are different choices you can make in the moment. And they're basically infinite. You can do good things or bad things, or what do you define good and bad? I mean, there's so many routes to take, but one of my favorite subjects that I can't wait to talk about is how we attract things into our lives. And I'm not talking about this hocus pocus.
Manifesting?
Right. Which is also true in its own right, but there are gurus out there, quote unquote, that will make you believe that this magical moment will just be lit up in your life and everything will change for you, but it's not ever a moment like that.
When we come to not manifesting, but if we do end up talking about that, I'd like to mention its limitations as well.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot to that. And I guess the only point I want to make right now is that tune in later to our different shows, because they're going to be interesting. They're going to be full of human errors.
What is this topic that you just went on and on about, but we didn't hear?
Oh, you're going to make me actually say it? Okay. I was going to just kind of fade out and let everyone's
make
curiosity.
It a cliffhanger, like, well, what is he talking about?
Yeah. The subject that I love to talk about, it led me to my girlfriend, and that's how we attract things into our lives via the person we are. So it almost sounds like cliche or like natural knowledge for us to think that way, for us to go, well, of course, your girlfriend's with you because of who you are. However, when you ask people, okay, what is it about yourself that attracted her to you? Most of them go, I don't know.
I guess I liked her, so she liked that about me. And...
Right. They don't know what it is. So maybe we do have this general idea that this is happening, right? But we don't know what it is. But my point is this. If you want to go find somebody, right, you have to first take into account who you are and realize that they're a person of free will and they're attracted to things. They they are the ones that will approach something that they enjoy with excitement, and that's what drew them to you. It has almost nothing to do with them. Well, it does, but more it has to do with who you are and what you're bringing into your life. And it doesn't just have to be with women or men or whoever we're speaking to right now.
This goes right into realizing what you have to offer, what
Right.
you have to sell.
Exactly.
You need to know who you are on the surface. And we'll talk about the inner you, the deeper essence of your being, but what skills you have to offer, what abilities you have, what on the surface you actually are and know and possess.
Exactly.
And that is enough of an introduction to that to keep you curious and hooked for the next one, I hope. You know?
I'm hooked. Like, what's next week, Kory? We don't know.
Next week, we're just going to record this in 5 minutes and then wait a week to post it.
Oh, now you're going to share our secrets. Oh.
No. We're definitely not doing that.
Yeah.
But we are, as of now, an unnamed show. And when it hits us, you will find the show under that name. So right now, Kory and Spencer is us.
Oh, we changed the Spencer.
Okay,
Kory,
you noticed, I guess.
No. It's Kory and Spencer show. It was Kory's idea to do the show. I think we both had aspirations to do something like this, but Kory was the one who was actually motivated in this situation and took action. He went and bought the equipment necessary. Guys, if you ever want to do something like this, you can contact us. Eventually, we'll have our website or something for you to contact us, some sort of contact info. And you can say, hey, how do we do something like this of our own? Because remember, our goal is to not dominate the field in the sense of like a monopoly or anything. There's plenty of people out there talking about this. So once again, thank you for being with us. But we want to teach people to fish. We don't want to hand a person a fish. You hand someone a fish, you feed them for a day. You teach them to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. And then that person can go and teach other people how to fish too. And not to learn to be needy, but really learn to stand on their own 2 feet and take action on your beliefs. And let's make this world a better place.
More about what Spencer just said. If you do need any help, please feel free to contact us.
Yes.
We'll probably create an email soon that'll be something like spencerandkory@gmail.com. For the Spencer and Kory show.
Is it Kory or Spencer? If we could put the names on top of each other, or that's weird too.
Like lay it over.
Well, who's on top? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
If you have any ideas for a show name, contact us with that too. But we'll have an email posted. And thanks for tuning in, guys. I guess we're gonna cut it here.
I think so. Just one little caveat to that. If you do give us show name ideas, we will shout you out. We'll probably send you a little care package as well. I don't know what it'll consist of. Some sort of handmade good. I don't know. My girlfriend makes a lot of cool things. But
That's if they do what?
If they give us a show name that we actually take.
Okay.
We will send them something in the mail. We'll communicate via email or something like that. And yeah, Kory, do we have an email? You know what? Let's just give them an email.
Let's just make it Spencer and Kory. No spaces, no underscores @gmail.com.
Yes, and how do you spell Spencer and Kory?
SpencerAndKory @gmail.com. And I'll put that in the description here, should there be one. And one more thing. If you share this with your friends, if you refer people to it, like it, leave a comment saying you did so, and we will give you a shout out by name in the next episode.
Definitely. And there will be a number limit on that because, our 100,000 viewers that are just lining up to watch this show.
I'm officially putting the cap at 100,000.
Yeah.
You know what? If it takes more than 5 minutes, then we'll probably cut it off and mention you in another show. But that is a serious offer that we will thank each person by name, even if it takes its own recording.
Yes.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're going to cut it here, yes?
Yep, the Spencer and Kory show. Just kidding.
Spencer. Yeah. Hey, put your name first. Spencer and Kory.
Oh.
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 Name first.